I apologize in advance. My voice is rather hoarse. Let me know if the sound is okay for you guys. What's up, Mo? It was robotic. All right, very good. I'm going to keep an eye on chat just so I can make sure that everything's good. I'm in a different room than I normally am. So I'm using a different mic. So hopefully it doesn't sound terrible. But I wanted to come live. I really wanted to come live with you guys yesterday, but I was busy with some stuff and also reading and digging into more stuff. So I just got a fresh cup of coffee. Hi, Pooh Bear. Hello, hello. I don't scream at folks. Yo, yo, yo. Driver. What's that mean? No, I'm not sick. I've been talking a lot lately. And when I talk a lot, I lose my voice very easily because I just naturally have a um raspy voice. So no, it doesn't hurt. It's like a straining. Every time I go to concerts and stuff, I always lose my voice. Original Elements wants to know, did you find what you were looking for? A little bit. A little bit. Yeah, the vocal cords are saying, give me a little break. So, all right, we've got 320 here. If you guys could give this a like, and then we're going to get started. I put all this together in a little video, and I'm going to pause it and we're going to go over it. But, anyways, I wanted to go live yesterday and I was busy. And then I was sitting here this morning and I caught Blood Money Benny Keys live. And I think it says 8 hours ago, but I don't know if that was when I watched it or from now. But anyway, it was later on or earlier. I mean, yeah, I need to shut up, Jay. Oh, thank you, Goldilocks. Thanks for chatting. Tracy S., go ahead and shoot your question in chat. I don't know if I can answer it though. Sweet crazy. How come? Are you sick? All right, Tracy, I will check for your. Oh, hi, Cami. Welcome. Thank you for being here. All right, so we're first off going to watch a little video before we get into what I saw this morning that bothered me. I keep seeing more and more, and it's not good. It's not cool. So let's watch this. I hope you guys have audio. Let me know if you can't hear it, okay? Can you guys hear it? No, you can't? Okay, hold on.
And the search at this hour continues in far northeast Tennessee for a missing 5-year-old girl. It's now been a week since Summer Wells disappeared, leading to that Amber Alert, and now there's a shift in this investigation. News Channel 5's Nick Barris live for us in our 5 Alert Center with exclusive details on this. So, Nick, what have you learned about this shift in the investigation?
Hard to tell you, Ben. Certainly, we're all continuing to follow this story. In fact, the whole nation really watching this horrible case of the child disappearing. And there's still no sign, nothing definitive that Summer actually wandered away. So there's a growing emphasis right now on the theory that the child is the victim of foul play as investigators continue to work the case. Now, the TBI reports no new leads and certainly have not ruled out foul play in this case. So there is growing scrutiny on everyone who is close to the child. Summer's parents and relatives are said to be cooperating with investigators. But now we are learning more about the Wells family history. WVLT, our sister station in Knoxville, reports that last year, Summer's mother, Candace, filed for an order of protection against her husband, Donald. In it, she wrote, quote, "He drinks and throws things. I'm afraid of being hurt. He is abusive physically and mentally toward me. I am afraid for my children and for myself," unquote. Now, just a few days later, Candace, for reasons unexplained, changed her mind, asking the court to dismiss that order of protection. Now, it is important to note that authorities have not, at this point, named the father or anyone else as a suspect, but they do continue to conduct interviews with everyone close to the child, looking for any inconsistencies. And, you know, Ben, they do say that everyone is considered at least a person of interest.
Right. And on that point, Nick, I want to be careful how I say this, but I know you've learned that Summer is actually not the first person in this family to disappear. I know that he told WVLT his wife's sister actually went missing from Wisconsin back in 2009.
Right, exactly. An interesting twist on that, the child was, or that the aunt of the child went missing in 2009. Again, she was 21 at the time, a mother of 2 young children when she disappeared, still unexplained. Again, that was back in 2009, very likely unrelated to this, but something investigators take into account, and just another bizarre piece of this mysterious puzzle as we continue to follow the case. We'll send it back to you in the studio.
Okay, so there we have, this is actually an older video. This isn't new. This was out of a Knoxville station, and I didn't see it until recently, but it was put out months ago. So, yeah, they're saying the parents, you know, obviously no one's ruled out, right? No one is ruled out. Maligator, are you in here? If anybody talks about this Jimmy Jams Dolly person, whatever they are, block them. I mean, just block them. Don't even wait. Just block them. Okay. So Crazy 8, yes. I know all about Candace's children in Wisconsin. This video, let me see. I have it downloaded on my computer. I believe. Oh, let me see. I can definitely tell you the date. 1 week. This video was that I just showed you was 1 week after her disappearance. So I am very, very hoarse. All right, now I'm going to pull up the video that I put together this morning out of just being completely disturbed by what I was hearing. Now, before we begin, let me just say that keep in mind the person stating all of these opinions is the spokesperson front and center for Summer, for her family, for findsummerwells.com. This is the opinion of someone who we think wants to find Summer Wells. Not Tim Mullen. Not Tim Mullen. Because Tim Mullen doesn't show his face, right? Tim Mullen sits in the behind the scenes and writes up the bullet points. All right. How did I do that? Okay, here we go. All right, so I'm going to be pausing this as we go so that we can discuss, because I really want you guys to really focus on what's being said. Hey, Frankie. I want you to focus on what's being said, and then we're going to discuss. And I just want to preface this too by saying the intro is compliments of the Sandman. Thank you, Sandman, for your talents and sharing them with us, sharing them with the world.
On the side of an autumn lit field live the infidel. Life seemed good, had gone quite well. Live the infidel. I am free. I am free. I am free. Parson came, didn't look too clean. Met the infidel. Only one preacher I'd like to see. Spoke the infidel. Woman over yonder, the sickest I'd known. Heard a ruckus one night, figured she'd gone on. Pitiful creature, took what the preacher had said. In one afternoon she was healed and up out of bed.
That I am against Amber Alerts, but all I'm doing is showing you the critical thinking side, the other side of the Amber Alert, okay? Now, everyone thinks that Amber Alerts can do no wrong.
Oh, man. I already have to stop. Okay, you guys are shook from the song. That is compliments of Tim Mullen. I just happened to grab a clip and it just fit perfectly with my intro, didn't it? Yikes. So let's start talking about this. So automatically he's talking about the Amber Alert and says, I'm going to show you going to show you the other side of the Amber Alert. Put a 1 in chat if you knew there was an other side of an Amber Alert other than to find a missing child. Put a 2 in chat if you think Amber Alerts have one side and one side only. The other side of the Amber Alert. This dude wants you to doubt the Amber Alert. Why? Let's listen.
And I'm here to tell you, do damage, right? Let me show you. For instance, let's take a look at. And this is just a for instance. Any Amber Alert, right? Now, what you've done is you've taken a picture of a child and a potential abductor.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much, Vet Girl. Oh my gosh, right here. Exactly. Exactly. This is wrong. And everyone needs to see what this dude is trying to infiltrate your minds with, being involved in a little 5-year-old girl's case. A potential abductor. He cares more about there being a potential alleged abductor than the damn kid. Listen, it gets worse.
The issue with this is that you don't know definitively or not. You could never know if that's the abductor. Now, right. The only reason
and who's this ninny that is sitting up on panel? Don't time people out for asking questions. I already said this before the live, you guys. Everyone, I want their opinions. If it's personal or defamatory, then delete it.
To know this little girl's name and this man's name is if you know these people in real life. You are never going to see this abductor in Walmart and say, "Hey, D'Angelo." Right. Yeah.
What? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? And this is from like 8 hours ago. This Amber Alert that he pulled up for an example is a missing child out of Florida. And this guy has a North Dakota tag.
That's the abductor. Now, right. The only reason you need to know this little girl's name and this man's name is if you know these people in real life. You are never going to see this abductor in Walmart and say, "Hey, D'Angelo." Right. Yeah. "Give me Gene Clark back." You don't need to know any of this stuff. What this does is...
And who is this lady going, yeah, and laughing? Shame on you, lady.
Or this man has even been taken to a preliminary examination, he has been labeled as the abductor. Now what happens is you've got people in front of his mom's house in
a preliminary examination? What is he effing talking about? You have a baby on the screen that this dude took. They're not going to put an Amber Alert out if he didn't take her. And what is he talking about? So then he starts saying, oh, well, you could have a mistake. Okay, then you explain it, but you get that baby home. Obviously, this baby is not where it belongs, and Benny Keys doesn't give a shit. Why doesn't Benny Keys care? Why does he want you to question the validity of an Amber Alert? That's my question. This guy is scum. Pond scum. He should not want you to question an Amber Alert, but he does. You need to ask yourself why. Is this why? Is this why, Benny Keys? AF, quote, Pennington? This is gross.
Florida, and they're protesting his dad, and they're doing all this crazy stuff, digging into his background. And let me tell you what, Pendar, it could be just as simple as the child's mother didn't like what he had to say to her, or he didn't bring her back on Sunday exactly when he said he would.
What? Did he just say what I think he said? Let's play that again for the people in the back, Benny.
As the child's mother didn't like what he had to say to her, or
so he wants you to think they put a fucking Amber Alert out because a mother didn't like what the dad had to say.
He didn't bring her back on Sunday exactly when he said he would. This Amber Alert actually sometimes doesn't mean shit.
That's true.
He can stream me all he wants. It doesn't make him any less of a scumbag. Scumbag.
Here. Look here in the bottom. It's very, 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 very telling. If located, do not approach. Contact law enforcement immediately. Why the hell do you need to know his name then?
Why does he care? Why are you protecting even a potential abductor? You have an innocent baby right there, about 11 months old. You are disgusting.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're never going to contact
And who's
him,
this lady?
why do you need to know his name? You would be better off spending the other time in this graphic right here talking about his physical appearance.
We can,
absolutely.
Instead of talking about his name and who he is and where he's from and where he could be heading, we should be discussing his braids. We can see his fucking looks, Benny. You're not fooling anyone. You're a fucking scum.
Braided hair falls to the left.
Any tattoos?
Yeah, expressive eye. Like you could do a lot of things in the way of talking about the abductor. Now, the other thing is that Amber Alerts typically they have to meet a standard, and what those standards are, you have to be able to identify the potential abductor, the potential victim, the potential description of vehicle,
right,
with a tag, and usually a direction of travel.
Right.
In Summer Wells Station, I have that.
Right.
You did not have any of those things. But later on, you had the issue with the red truck. You had all these different things. You had Jody Sue saying that she saw this red vehicle, dusty or no clear coat. She saw this man. She needs a sketch artist. You have all of these things that point away from anyone else except for the Wells. It could be anyone else in the world except for the Wells. And for whatever reason, the furthest that we can look for Summer Wells is on that 11.25 corner acre parcel where Ben Hill Road meets Beach Creek. That's the only place that they're capable of looking, Pendar, period.
I mean, it's just sad. It's so sad.
Yep.
And
This
in the
is the
meantime,
way,
you've got
in
people
my
that,
go ahead, I'm sorry, Pendar.
I was just going to say you've got people that are accusing the parents who've passed a polygraph.
Absolutely.
Right? And have no charges.
Absolutely.
And based on what? Based on what?
An opinion that they believe is factual. It is a bunch of mentally ill people who don't.
Oh, whoa. Let's talk about the team of mentally ill people. Oh, wait. We'll save that for another day. We'll save the borderline what is it? Borderline personality disorder conversation for another day. We'll stick to the Amber Alert today.
Cipher and deduce things well in their own lives. And so when it comes to dealing, and let me tell you what, these people, Pendar, these people spend so much.
Okay, keep in mind, he's referring to the people that have come to Kingsport. But what he's saying really describes him and his team. His little team that believes his bullshit.
Decipher and deduce things well in their own lives. And so when it comes to dealing, and let me tell you what, these people, Pendar, these people spend so much time dealing with Don, Candace, and Summer Wells' life so as they don't have to deal with their own life.
That's what I was thinking too.
That's what it is. Look at these creators. Creators are what? What do creators create? Well, these creators are creating bullshit.
What are you creating? You're wanting people to doubt an Amber Alert when an Amber Alert is in place to protect children. And you want them to doubt it. It speaks volumes, Benny. Speaks volumes.
Okay. And that's just what it is. None of this is.
And they like the attention. And I was thinking, I think I was talking to Seasons earlier today, and I said, they want the attention because if they didn't have the YouTube or whatever, nobody would talk to them. Nobody would call.
Well, I think, lady, whoever you are, that's you. If you didn't have YouTube, no one would talk to you. So you're on Benny Key's panel agreeing with this bullshit, him saying that there could be an Amber Alert because this guy didn't like what his wife or his girlfriend had to say. You are both losers.
To see how the hell they are, nobody would care because
they're not even extraordinary weirdos. They're just extraordinary weirdos that nobody finds them applicable to anything important, and so they have to try to find these seams and these weak points in other people's lives to insert themselves as.
He's calling seams and weak points felonies, child abuse charges, SA charges. Those are not seams. Those are gaping fucking holes. Like the holes in Candace's story on June 15th.
Some sort of dominant controlling force. Now, let me tell you what.
Almost living vicariously through the people that they're looking at.
Absolutely. These people have a macabre fascination with other people's pain, right? It's like ambulance chasers.
Ooh, that's creepy. That is creepy.
Right? It's
what's creepy is this. He's speaking about himself. He's the one up on that hill. He's the one spewing this propaganda. He's the one that has a sick obsession with what's going on here.
The same thing like sexual offenders. Same thing like sexual offenders. Right?
Ooh, nice example. He uses SA as his example. Interesting example. First thing that came to his mind.
Once they're on the outside, it's widely known that a lot of them like to listen to, to different things on social media, videos and things that, depict women giving statements about being abused, right?
Wait, what? It's widely known that sexual abusers come to videos and watch because it gets them off? I have to say, I had no idea. I would not know that. Never heard that. I've heard of like murderers going back to the scene of the crime, but I've never heard someone actually attest that it's widely known that essayers come to videos to hear these proclamations from the women who were abused and get off on the details. Yikes. That's fucking sick, Benny. You need help. No wonder your wife kicked you out, dude. Gross.
Like sexual offenders. Same thing like sexual offenders, right? Once they're on the outside, it's widely known that a lot of them like to listen to, to different things on social media, videos and things that, depict women giving statements about being abused, right? Certain sorts of men offenders will come here just to hear despicable details about what people think happened to a child, right?
Right, yeah.
And that's what
it's like returning to the scene of a crime, sort of.
It's
this lady. You're so smart. Whatever your name is.
It is. It's like in Chicago where they have the mafia. The mafia.
He's comparing. What? How did this go from essayers to a mafia size organization? Wait a minute. He just talked about essayers and then compared them to the mafia. What's the essayers version of a mafia?
Kill tour or whatever. It's people with a macabre fascination for death, and they want to see where it happened, and they want to try to feel the vibe, and that's what you're seeing with all these these sort of copycat frequent flyers to the hill. They all have a macabre fascination, and they just want to feel what pain, what this level of pain feels like, Pendar.
And I think, I've thought for a long time, people who are miserable want to make others miserable.
Absolutely.
So that they can share that.
Absolutely. It's sort of the same science behind cutting, right? It's like, you mean to tell me hurting yourself physically is...
Okay, so I literally stopped there because I thought that was enough. You can go listen to the rest of this garbage if you want on his channel. But he starts comparing it to cutting, mafia, essayers. He's defending potential abductors. I don't know. But Dana Helms, over 602 children have been brought home safe due to the Amber Alert system. Hey, Lips. So, yeah, I mean, you guys, something isn't right here. Something is not right here. This guy is not giving a message that he wants to find Summer Wells. That's my opinion anyways. And he can call me all the names in the book that he wants to. I don't care. There is still a missing 5-year-old out there. And you know what? Over the whole weekend, go back. Hey, Datset, go back to his streams over the weekend. We just passed the 7-month mark that Summer has been missing. Go back to his past few streams and tell me if he has even mentioned that girl, that little girl. No, he had Cam up on panel. They're bitching. They're talking about everybody else, calling me a dumb bitch. They don't want Summer found. He doesn't want anyone near that property. They don't want anyone near that property. He's bashing because they won't look outside of the 11-mile radius of the wells. True Crime with Eve EP. Let's see. We were investigating Andrew and Tim on live with Ernie Shell last night, and Benny's Flying Monkeys were big mad, wonder why. I don't know. The Katies and Rachels of the world seem to get mad over this stuff. I don't know. I feel like some people really need to check themselves because this little girl needs to be found, and we're not going to give up. You're not going to deflect off of this because the message you are spewing is wrong. Well, you know what? Let people learn in their own way and in their own time. I don't know Ernie. I've seen him a couple times on a couple streams, but I don't know him. I saw that you said that, Twister. You think they need to look into the tree company more. I saw you said that. And I noticed Benny was saying that too, I think. If they can't rule out the parents, there's a problem. That's why we're all looking at Don and Candace. If they were ruled out, we wouldn't even be looking at them, but they haven't been. So why should we look at the tree guys that have already been questioned by the TBI when they haven't even ruled out Don or Candace? Yeah, I don't know how to get a hold of Ernie, but if you guys can put him in contact with me, my email is at the bottom here. I'd love to talk to him. People need to understand with an Amber Alert, you are offered a victim's advocate. What? And PR person, and Don and Candace denied. Right. That tree company is a big company. Thanks, Lips. If he's in chat, he can email me. Right. Exactly, Jam 420. They can't rule them out. Seven months. Oh, I can put a link in chat right now. Hold on. Ernie, you want to come up? I'm going to put this up, and this is just for Ernie. And Ernie, when you come up, just flash your face on the camera so I know it's you. And now Cam is hiding behind Benny, going on his panel, talking about everything. I think after his last stream of almost giving away the area they're searching, he's gotta go behind Benny. I agree, Jennifer. Thank you for the super chat. It came up as these symbols, so I don't know. Oh, Pink Phoenix, thank you. Yeah, I agree with you guys. He is very, very, very mean. He's a bully. He's dangerous. He threatens people. And then he tried to concede a little bit because John Crimes is actually giving him the time of day. So he's like, oh, I only doxed people because I don't care if I get doxed. I never thought people actually cared. I mean, he thinks that we're all morons. I see right through him. He's a typical loser. He lies about everything. He's a lying liar who lies. Hey, Scott Skulls. Oh, man. Yeah, well, he has them convinced he's the best spokesperson. If they think that the best spokesperson for finding a 5-year-old is someone who calls women dumb bitches, then they need to probably reevaluate their goal. How can you even defend that shit? He's sick. I didn't see an Ernie in here, you guys. I have another thing that I want to go over with you, but I want to keep these separate. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I used to tolerate him till I started seeing through all this shit. It's really gross. He called me that too. I mean, this is someone who they expect to support a campaign for a missing little girl. Makes no sense. No sense. You have to look at what is going on behind the scenes. You have to look at the fact that every person, pretty much, except Ziggy that I know of, is a felon that has signed one of those NDA things. Oh no, don't make him get off his live. We can plan something, but I have something else to bring you guys via Tim Mullen later, because I want to keep these topics separate. Aw, thank you, Cheryl. I thought it was really... Hey, Ernie. Here, I'm going to give you a link. If you want to come up. This is just for Ernie to come up. And before, I don't know, are you live? Here's the link if you want to come up, but just show me your face before I put you on panel. Well, we don't know if Tim Mullen's a notary or not. Tim Mullen lies too. Benny's like, oh, he doesn't have a pilot license. Yeah, he was just chatting. He said, hi, Jay. I saw him. He doesn't have a pilot license, Benny. He thinks because Tim Mullen went in and deleted his been verified. He did it too late. Because I'm going to actually show you guys. There you go. He doesn't have a pilot license. Okay. He has had all of his shit cleared out of here. Why would he lie and say this dude doesn't have a freaking pilot license? What is the point of lying? It makes no sense. I don't know. What did Lips say? I can't find it. It's way up. I don't think this is about intelligence. Justice and truth for the missing. Thanks for becoming a member. But why would you muddy the waters in a missing children's case? Okay, well, if it's not a legit NDA and it's not notarized, this Tim is hoping that people are too stupid to know that. I've put it in chat. This is the third time.
Ernie Shell joined.
Oh, here he is. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, it's Ernie. Okay, are you going to keep your camera on?
Matter if you want to.
Okay, hey.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm nice to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to meet you. I heard a lot about you.
I hope good stuff.
Very good stuff. Very good stuff. Very informational sources told me some stuff about you, and I thought it was awesome.
Good. So what's up? I know you've been, active in this case and out there on the ground. What are you up to? Where do you stand in the case right now?
Where I stand at is I'm wanting to bring Don, Candace, Benny, and everybody around who is accessories to this to justice.
So you think it's Don and Candace?
I do think it's Don and Candace.
Have you met them?
No, and Don Wells is scared to death of me, won't even talk to me, won't even take none of the, ask around about what he says about me. He'll do interviews of anybody else, but he will not me because he knows I know. Even Benny says that Don knows that I know. So, that right there just gives it away.
Are you from there?
I'm from Tennessee, yes.
Oh, you're from Tennessee. Okay. So
I was a bounty hunter in Tennessee for 20 years.
You were?
Yeah.
Thanks the best for becoming a member. So have you been on foot there in Hawkins County?
Well, we went over a little bit to it and looked around, but I didn't want to see. Here's the thing: I didn't even want to be, and Predator Hunter Nation didn't want to be a part of this. They brought us in it because they was scared where we was busting predators. The day we started filming our show and our TV show and for a movie and things of that, the day before that, or is the day before we started filming, is when Summer Wells went missing.
So have you turned in any tips to law enforcement? Anything that you found or
We
anything?
talk frequently.
Yeah. Okay. Very good. I know I've talked to a couple people that, regularly are giving tips or things that they hear. So
Well, see, what's going on is, and it's a typical child trafficking ring is what it is. And what happens with that is people have people set in places. Benny, if you look at Benny, look at what all he's involved in. Now, here's something I've got Benny in. Benny pretty much says this in one of my recordings to him. I was like, well, what happened? Well, what do you know about Summer? Because the way you got to ask these questions. Here's what every YouTuber I've seen. They don't know this. They don't know how to ask the right questions. You have to start a question off with who, what, when, where, and how. That's open-ended questions. That right there makes the psychology. It makes your mind. It makes those barriers drop, and it demands an answer from that. See, when you start off a question, like if I say, Jay, what were you doing on, June 15th? Well, you're already subject to give me an answer. You see what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because if I say, why would you do that? You see, why is a hypothesis. You can't use why. You can't use that. You'd have to use what or how did you do that? That's direct questions when you start asking them. But you have to, with Benny, you have to bullshit around a little bit and make him think that he's got you. Then all of a sudden throw that question on him real fast. And then when he answers, well, it's not too good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think at this point he's really open to answering anybody's questions other than what is given to him on a bullet point PDF that's put in front of him before he goes live. So I think he's being, I mean, in a way, I think he's scripted.
And here's the thing, too. A lot of people, it's pretty crazy how it goes on, but
I mean, if you don't want to say too
right.
much, I get it.
Cool deal.
I just think, this right here.
Well,
I mean, this
okay, go ahead and let's throw Benny out of
ring.
here. Let's throw Benny out. Benny's in the chat right now. Benny's in your chat right now.
That's fine.
This mouse for you, NV.
I'm just wondering.
This mouse for you, NV, and I'll tell you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The reason he says that, mouse for you, because Benny always asks me when he gets mad at me, he says, when I say we, he says, what do? You got a mouse in your pocket? And that's what that means right there. That's why I know that's Benny right there. But anyways, Benny, anytime you holler at Benny or call Benny's name, he shows up. But usually you got to do his call signal like kitty, kitty, kitty. Then he comes around the corner somewhere. But being serious, look at what Benny was doing in the video that I had about him. He says, I said, what are you doing? What was you doing when Summer Wells went missing? Oh, I was working on a case here in Dallas. Another missing child is what he says. Okay. If he's working on a case in Dallas, why would you suddenly drop that case in Dallas and drive 10 or 12 hours and focus on the case over in Tennessee? You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what his motive is. But I know the message he's giving is not right. And it doesn't sit right with me.
When people put Amber Alerts up and Benny goes and he tries to explain these Amber Alerts, that's the most stupidest. Oh my God. He tells people, you're never going to have to look at this person. You don't worry about this. And I'm like, dude, that ain't the right kind of information. Anybody who is for it for the right reasons would automatically think and know, hey, it's going to be, because it's going to come from your heart. Hey, I'm always going to be on the lookout for this person. Why are you saying not to look at this person?
He was literally, he pulled up this sample Amber Alert from 2019, and he was sympathizing with the abductor while there was an 11-month-old baby's face on the screen. That sicko was siding with the abductor, saying he may not have done it.
But
Are you
but you have to
kidding me?
understand that's the way a predator's mind works. When they're caught in the moment, it's like blood in the water and a shark. A shark can't help but to go to that blood. It has to go to that blood. That's what they are. You have to understand the mindset, which is very hard because when you actually see this and experience, you see what's going on and you can tell what's going on. I will. Hold on a second. Okay. So you're able to tell that, but you have to know what to look for. That's why general awareness, area awareness, situational awareness, and aspects, and then you do scenario training with that.
Let me ask you something. Do you think it's possible, for lack of a better word, that the Wells could be getting punked by these people?
Explain what you're meaning by punked.
Well, I mean, first of all, they may think, obviously, they do think that these people want to find their daughter, right? How do we
I don't
know?
believe that. I know they're in it, but they're in on it.
What if they aren't, though? I mean, is
Okay,
there a
so
chance that the Wells have been taken advantage of?
I can see that part about it, but
And they're scared. They're scared to say anything.
well, Don would reach out to someone that's trying to help. He turns everything around. He turns everything away.
He's turned everything away. They were offered a victim's advocate and a PR person when they had a Amber Alert issued, and they declined and went with Tim Mullen and Benny Keys. And
Well,
one has to wonder why.
they went with Cher first. Cher.
But was she
Cher's
their
the one.
official spokesperson? She wasn't. There was no
Well,
website. There was no announcement. There were no weird, creepy intros for videos. It's now branded. They've
oh, I
branded
know it's
Benny.
branded now, but it's
Mhm.
branded because all you have to do is follow the money. But Cher is the one that canceled our interview with Don Wells. Cher did.
She did what? Canceled your
She
interview?
canceled. We had an interview set up with Don Wells. We was going to interview Don Wells. It was all set up. He agreed to it. She canceled it.
When was this? Back in July?
Back when all this crap first happened.
Yeah, I think you know what happened to me too is I was talking to Don and she told him not to talk to me anymore, and he didn't. But I think at that time, I don't know if this plot was as deep and as wide with so many players, but I think maybe they were seeking out players, and Cher was not buying the church bullshit.
Well, let me ask you your personal opinion. What do you think happened to Summer?
I have conflicting theories. I go back and forth from I was so convinced it was an accident. But ever since I've seen Chris McDonough release Hunter's uncut interview, my mind has gone a different way. And the more that I see, the more I believe that there is something deeper to this. But I do still go back to
Okay, so I believe she's child trafficked. I
What's
believe
that?
she was child trafficked. I believe
think
the people that came beforehand from New York, the Hilton guy,
Mhm.
what's his name, whatever his name was there, and if you look at his profile, he has pandas for cover page. Pandas. Well, that just tells me one thing. Pandas is like panda eyes for children. You ever heard of that?
I just recently did. I didn't know that before, but yes, I just learned that in the past
Okay.
week.
Look, go to his. Here, I'll tell you what it is, and you can check it out. It's been there forever.
Are you
Why
talking
would a
about
grown man?
Andrew?
And
Hilton?
here's something else.
I
Andrew Hilton.
had him on for an interview the other day. He called in. He was actually in
I know you
chat.
did, and that's why. And they told me that you could.
Yes.
I'd love to have an interview with him.
He was actually live on his own YouTube 2 nights ago. So he's going live on his own channel, and it's his name. It's Andrew
Right.
Hilt.
I've seen it. They've already got it. They've already got all that. And
Yeah,
looking
so
at it.
if you
But I believe
if he goes live, I'm sure if you went in chat and asked him, he may talk to you. He's willing to talk.
well, that's good. He's willing to talk. But I'm just going to tell you right now. I think TBI and their alphabet is looking at it right now. They're going to have it locked up here pretty soon. I think there's going to be some arrests made within the next little bit. I mean, if you look at the time limit this has been and look at other cases that's somewhere near this, it's usually about this much time. They usually, when they put an investigation together, it lasts 2 to 4 months. And then if it's a big investigation, they hold it back. And they hold it and they wait till everybody gets in the front. They make one strike and they get every bit of it. If they arrest right now, then they may even have a chance of jeopardizing what's to pretty much with more than what's going on than just summer. I believe it's bigger, and that's it.
And I agree with you. I think that the time spent has not been time with them doing nothing. I think that's bullshit. I saw the major efforts that were made in the beginning, and I do believe that they are following up on tips, and they have been all these months. And the bigger that it is, the longer it's going to take.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you something. This is from HTAT, it's Human Trafficking Awareness, and you learn this. And this is from the experienced part of it and actually seeing families and people who went through this. Now, this is not for the faint of heart, what I'm getting ready to say. So I'm just going to be honest. If people don't want to hear this right now, because I'm going to tell you, they get a kick. They get a kick. Pedophiles, predators, child predators, and these traffickers, they get a kick out of this. And it's sick, but it's reality. And that's what we got to understand. We shy away from this and we don't want to hear it. We don't want to see it. Ladies, even ladies, they're like, oh my God, I really don't want to see this. When you put that in your mind that you don't want to see it, when you're out here and every day and you're out here in the public and you don't want to see it, well, your mind don't find it. You see what I'm saying? That's why your eyes and your ears have deceived you. This evil is all around us. What we think that we know is the evil and we think it's afar, it's not. It's amongst us.
It's right.
But we don't
right
know what
under
to
our
look
nose,
for.
you guys.
Exactly.
They're right under our noses. And it's scary. And I thank you for coming on.
And remember, guys, well, here's the thing with your children. If you don't know what to look for, you're not going to be able to spot it. There's a difference between glimpse, see, look, and watch. Remember that. And that's the biggest thing. A glimpse, you just see something, it just kind of just goes by you. If you see something, you just see it for a minute there. If you look at it, you actually concentrate just a little bit. But if you watch it and you watch, then you know it, you understand it. Because remember, I'm just going to be straight up, and this is the part that's a little bit censored in what it should be, is those panda eyes. Child traffickers and predators look forward to that. They look forward for your children having that. What that is that busts the blood vessels up under the eyes. That's from penetration. Benny himself, look at Benny. Look up under his eyes. Look up under how dark his eyes is.
Yikes.
Benny himself is a recruiter for this shit. That's why he dropped a case in so-and-so Dallas. Why was he in the California City Boys, the California City Boys thing too? Benny's all over the place on it, but he's throwing everybody in the wrong direction. He has these followers and he has a big build-up. But people are starting to realize who Benny Keys really is. If you look, check this out. I want everyone, after you watch this, and you to go to my channel and watch one video.
You're cutting out.
He says, Summer will.
Uh-oh. Can you guys? Okay, you're good now.
Okay.
You're cutting in
Let
and
me
out.
do this right here. It's a big, huge mansion thing here. Oh, let's do this right here. Is that better?
I thought maybe Benny was messing with my internet. He said this morning that he's messing with people's IPs.
Well, how he does that, he's got your phone numbers. That's why he wants my phone number, and he'll never get my phone number. He says it in that video. I've got a whole big I've got like a compilation parts of Benny on there when he's admitting to certain things and all that. Can everybody hear me now? Is everything good? Can you
Yeah,
see
you're
me?
good now.
Okay. So, oh man.
Mo, we are talking about the facts. And the message that he's giving is not, it doesn't feel right. Sorry. Nothing about a
Okay, so
missing 5-year-old should be dark.
okay, so I'm just going to explain this real fast here. Benny, on that video, when I say, "What do you know about Summer Wells?" he says, "Well, Summer Wells was about 40 pounds," and he starts talking about, and then when he gets to what happened to her, he says she was taken from Rogersville, Tennessee. Why would he use the word "she was taken"? I thought she just went missing, maybe wandered off. Why choose the word "taken"? Because taken is actually the child trafficking word that they actually use, taken. He uses that. Why, Benny? Why would you use that for? Because I had his mind so messed up that he's going to tell the truth by the questions I was asking.
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I hope that what I want is, my listeners to start to pay closer attention to what's being said and how things are being done and who they're being conducted by, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, we've watched missing kids cases. I mean, I've watched them since I was a little kid. Adam Walsh was the first missing kid case I remember.
Okay.
And
Someone
I've
said in the
never
chat
seen
room that I have
anything
a
like
personal,
this.
sorry about that. Somebody said in the chat room I have a personal vendetta against Benny. I don't. And here's something else too. I'm going to prove something real fast. If I say this on public that we've done something and I admit to this, we are subject to investigation if it ain't true. Watch this. Predator Hunter Nation and myself, Operation Rescue Our Children, have worked with the Department of Homeland Security. We have worked with them on predator investigations. These people here, they try to disprove me on a lot of things, but it's from same people. It's fake profiles, it's fake people, and it's BK's people. That's what happens. But anyways, I do appreciate coming on here, and if I can
Yeah,
help
no, I
anyway.
appreciate you. I know you were live. Did you stop your live?
Yeah, I did. I stopped because
Oh, I appreciate you doing that to pop on. I appreciate
this
that.
is more important, and I know you have a greater audience that can listen and learn more about general awareness, and I know
Yeah.
that you are a good person, and you don't deal with drama, and I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, no, I don't like to. I
No,
don't like to. But thank you so much, and keep up the good work, what you're doing out there. And
I will. You
I'll talk to you soon. Nice to meet you.
cool. Thank you, Jay. Thank you.
All right. I just want you guys to, if you guys can put his link in chat. None of this is normal. None of how this feels or how this looks is normal. Just everyone, just be aware of what you hear, what you see. We have to be aware because something's not right here, you guys. And we all want Summer to be found. His channel is Operation Rescue Our Children if you want to check out his channel. That's the first time I have ever spoken to him. If you know him and you don't agree with him, I invited him up here. This is my house, right? If I invited you over for a party, you wouldn't be rude to my guests. So don't be rude in my chat. Oh, is that Bullhorn Betty? Hi, Bullhorn Betty. But anyways, I want to keep this to the point. I want people to be able to replay this and really understand what message was brought out just in this small clip. I just don't understand. Bullhorn Buddy, you're going to come in here and ask him to contact you after you completely bashed me publicly to all my listeners. That's not integrity. All right, I'm out of here. I will be back later. I've got some more things that I am going to bring to you, and you will not want to miss it. So be looking for that later today. I don't know. This afternoon, I promise. And thank you so much for all the new members, the super chats. You guys, we got to keep this good for summer. She deserves better. She deserves better. Thanks again to Ernie for coming up. And everybody, enjoy your afternoon. I will see you guys in a few hours. But definitely keep your mind open. Make your own conclusions, but just be aware. I'm not sick, Steve. I'm just hoarse. All right, you guys. Bye.
I don't give a damn. I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. You talk way too much. I have heard enough about you and your problems. I don't give a damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. Damn, damn. I don't give a damn. You wanna be with me. You wanna feel something real, but I'm feeling differently. You're making plans to get to friends, but don't wanna face the fact that I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. Staying up late, sleeping all day, dreaming about Cadillacs. Buying new shoes, hanging by the pool, sipping on Coke and Jack. Calling my phone when you feel alone, but I'll never call you back. 'Cause I ain't got time, I ain't got time, I ain't got time for that. I don't give a damn, I don't really care about you and your problems. I don't give a damn.